The Yankees' rotation is under threat, and the question everyone is asking is, how will the team deal with this wave of injuries before it's too late? Giancarlo Stanton, Luis Gil, Garrett Cole, and now Clark Schmidt are out of action, leaving a big gap on the mound. As the season progresses, it's clear that the Yankees need reinforcements, and fast. The good news? The market might offer a solution. According to Mike Axissa of CBS Sports, an interesting name has appeared on the radar: Eric Fed, a pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals. And why him? Simple. Fed proved last season that his performance in South Korea was no fluke. With a 3.30 ERA and 177 and one-third innings pitched, he has shown himself to be a reliable arm to keep teams in contention. Moreover, Fed wouldn't be a heavy investment. His $7.5 million contract makes him an affordable option, and with the Cardinals going through a rebuilding phase, a trade might just be a matter of time. The Yankees, who still have high hopes for this season, can't ignore the need to strengthen the rotation, especially if they want to remain serious title contenders. So the big question now is, should the Yankees bet on Fed as a temporary solution, or should they aim for a bigger name in the market? What do you think? Leave your comment and subscribe to Yankees Fan Always to not miss any updates on the Bombers. If the Yankees truly want to stay competitive and avoid a collapse in the rotation, acting early might be the best strategy. Waiting until the trade deadline could be risky, as other teams looking for reinforcements will also have their eyes on reliable pitchers like Eric Fed. The sooner New York makes a move, the better their chances of securing a solid return without getting into a bidding war. But would Fed be enough to cover the gaps in the rotation? With Garrett Cole out indefinitely and uncertainty about when Luis Gil will be back at 100%, the Yankees might need to think beyond just a stopgap reinforcement. Ideally, they should add at least two reliable arms to provide depth to the rotation and avoid overloading the bullpen. Another factor to consider is that Fed might not be the only name available in the market. With teams like the Chicago White Sox, Oakland Athletics, and Miami Marlins likely willing to negotiate, pitchers like Dylan Cease, Paul Blackburn, or even Jesus Luzardo could turn out to be even more attractive options. The question is, will the Yankees be willing to pay the price for a higher impact name, or will they prefer a cost-effective reinforcement like Fed? The truth is, the Yankees can't afford to wait too long. With AL East always competitive and teams like the Orioles and Rays ready to fight for the top, every win counts. If New York really wants to establish itself as a playoff team and perhaps chase the title, reinforcing the rotation now could be the difference between a successful season and a frustrating one. And you, Yankees fan, do you think Eric Fed would be a good addition to the rotation? Or should the team aim higher? Leave your comment and subscribe to Yankees Fan Always to stay updated with all the news and analysis about the Bombers. As a true Yankees fan, I can't help but think that betting on Eric Fed might be a temporary solution but doesn't solve the long-term problem. Yes, he showed consistency last season and can help fill the gap left by injuries, but can he really be a decisive factor for a team dreaming of winning its 28th World Series title? Honestly, the Yankees need to aim higher. If Garrett Cole is going to miss a significant amount of time, we need an elite pitcher, someone who can truly carry this rotation in crucial moments. The problem is that impact names like Dylan Cease or Jesus Luzardo will be very expensive, which means giving up farm system talent, something Brian Cashman might hesitate to do. On the other hand, bringing in Fed at an affordable price could be a smart strategic move, especially if it's accompanied by another more aggressive acquisition at the trade deadline. Ideally, the Yankees should add two reliable pitchers to avoid overloading the bullpen and relying exclusively on the immediate return of Cole and Gil. At the end of the day, the Yankees can't repeat past mistakes and trust that the current roster will sustain itself until October without reinforcements. The AL East is getting more competitive, and they can't just wait for things to sort themselves out. If the team really wants to compete for a title, they need to act now. And you, Yankees fan, do you agree that we need more aggressive reinforcements, or do you think Fed would be enough? Leave your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Yankees Fan Always to not miss any updates on the Bombers. If the Yankees want to avoid another frustrating season, reinforcing the rotation cannot be optional. It has to be a priority. Garrett Cole's injury is a tough blow, and relying only on Clark Schmidt, Carlos Rodon, and Nestor Cortez to hold things together until the end of the season could be a fatal mistake. Eric Fed could be a useful addition, someone who eats innings and keeps the team competitive. But is he the guy to take the Yankees to the next level? I have my doubts. His MLB track record before playing in the KBO wasn't impressive, and while he has improved significantly, I don't think he's the impact addition the team truly needs. If they bring in Fed, he should be a secondary reinforcement, not the main piece of the rotation. Looking at the market, names like Dylan Cease, Corbin Burns, and Jesus Luzardo are still much more impactful options. Of course, acquiring them will be costly, but that's the kind of investment a team aiming for a World Series title needs to make. Is Brian Cashman willing to part with prospects like Spencer Jones, Chase Hampton, or Jason Dominguez for an elite pitcher? That's something we'll find out in the coming months. What can't happen is the team just waiting. With the Orioles and Rays getting stronger, the Yankees can't afford to make mistakes. If the front office believes this roster has real championship potential, they need to be aggressive in the market and make sure the rotation is up to expectations. The question now is, will the Yankees have the courage to make the right move? Time is ticking, and if the team wants to stay on top, they need to act now. So, Yankees fan, what's the ideal move to strengthen this rotation? Should they bet on Fed or go after a bigger name? Comment below and subscribe to Yankees Fan Always to stay up to date with all the Bombers news.